What's going on, everybody? Hey, Cowboy Nation. Welcome back to our show, Star Chasers. As you guys know, it's your girl, Cravin Cowboys. As always, I got my girl, Star, in the building. How you doing tonight, sis?
What's up, guys? What's up to everybody in the chat? Glad to see you. We are here for another episode of Star Chasers Girls Talk Ball. Hopefully, y'all can hear my buttons. Can y'all hear my buttons? But anyway, we really appreciate y'all being here. We really appreciate y'all rocking with us. We really have been going hard. We were just talking about backstage, like, dang, we really been going hard since
For
training
real.
camp started. Really been trying to push it and give y'all this content. You know what I'm saying? Even though we tired, but we still here. We still here. So y'all know what to do when y'all come in. Please like the video. Please share. Please subscribe to our YouTube channels. Stargazer Sports. Mickey's is Cravin Cowboys. I am on the road to 300. Mickey's already passed 300. She almost to 500. So y'all help her get more subscribers on the road to 500. I'm on the road to 300. So y'all help me out as I try to, continue to build my platform. And y'all, I am doing Stargazer sweepstakes, which is pinned at the top of my Twitter. Well, I don't think I have a pin there, but if you go to my YouTube, Stargazer Sports, it's a short video that gives you instructions on how to enter that. I am giving away Madden 25, college football 25, or a $75 Visa gift card. It's really simple. So y'all please help me out. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you guys, come on now. Y'all free money. All you got to do is subscribe. It's free $75. Y'all sounds really good, right? A free video game. Actually, a chance at 2 video games, y'all. I mean, come on now, y'all. It's free to hit that button. It's free to hit subscribe. It's free to like. It's free to hit that share button. It's free to just be here tonight with y'all. So we just appreciate everybody's time being here, helping us build our voices up, build our content up, build our confidence up. And I'm just speaking for myself. I just love. I'm this day by day. I'm getting more passion, more motivation to put out content. I mean, of course, going to camp, gives you motivation, but just doing this in general, seeing other content creators, continue to do other things. Like I said, seeing my girl Star on that show last night, doing the collaboration with EJ. Shout out to him. He followed me on Twitter. I followed him back. I just love seeing new content creators that I'm not familiar with, and just seeing them offer their opinion, and just seeing more things out that maybe wasn't aware of before. Like, he brought up some great points last night. You guys were talking about the linebackers, and he brought up Harvey having a better game. That's a guy. Sometimes you forget about guys with so many newer guys in our in our roster, and also guys that they went and got in free agency from the UFL, things like that. So you tend to forget about some guys who you don't hear about every day. So, like I said, it's just good to get just a new refreshing look on our Cowboys. So shout out to Star doing another collaboration. I know you guys are gonna do better, great shows in the future. So and just like you said, try to all the content creators out there grinding, putting in work. And like I said, like Star was saying off camera before we jumped on here. I told her I feel like we've really been grinding, doing our solo shows, doing collab shows, things like that, since the season pretty much kicked off, or training camp pretty much kicked off. So as you guys saw, before you guys head in here from the tweet, Cowboys news does not stop. So hey, neither do we. And before we jump into the content, like she said, hit like, hit share. Shout out to everybody in the chat already: Jamison Taylor, Toxic Splendor, Poppy Vela, Jay Money. Over there on Star's channel, Beat by Money. I think it's a new face. I think we haven't seen here not quite too often. Lee Harrison on the Facebook group. What's up, Facebook? Hey, what's up, Facebook? Very happy to see you. Big Santana, what's going on? Kelvin Hicks, of course, always in the building. One of the first ones, always in the building. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. So, we're really going to jump right into it. As you guys probably seen before you jumped on here, I texted my girl Star before we even hopped on here. We have once again another signing. This new defensive line, this new defensive room, our new defensive coordinator, just bringing fireworks. As you guys seen in the beautiful the beautiful thumbnail that my girl Star put together, the fireworks. And before we even had the signing, she had fireworks in the thumbnail. So that just shows my girl's mind is always on the fire. You feel me? So before, let's go ahead and jump into a Star. What do you think about this new signing? Not just Linval Joseph, but we got Jordan Phillips, who came in pretty much off the plane played the game for us. And of course, we also have Carl Lawson, who finalized his deal this past Sunday. Helped us out with the mock game on Monday. Was chopping it up with D Law minutes into practice. As soon as he touched down on the practice field, chopping it up with D Law. So just kind of give some of your thoughts, Star, with some of these moves that the Cowboys have been making, and just these fireworks that we've seen in really just the past 30 minutes, the past few days. What's your thoughts?
Right. Yeah, so first I'll say, when I found out we were signing Jordan Phillips, I think that news broke when we were live last week on here with Jess Navarez from DallasCowboys.com.
StarChasers, y'all. Something about them StarChasers.
Yeah, so we were definitely live. Y'all check out that show. That was a great show we did last week with Jess Navarez from DallasCowboys.com. Right. Yeah, I think I didn't know much about him, but then, as all the clips and stuff guys start going crazy on Twitter and stuff, I'm like, oh, okay. So, right. We got a huge guy. He's like 6'4", 340 pounds. And ironically enough, he's not necessarily a nose tackle. He is a 3-tech. But I think here we're probably just going to use him in a dual role. And it's like, hey, dude, if you can give us some pass rush ability, then give that to us. You know what I'm saying? We only going to be giving all of these guys from what's the thing? Since we got Jordan Phillips, and then now you add Linval Joseph. And I'll be honest, when I woke up and saw we got Linval Joseph, I was first like, but I ultimately like it's a good thing, guys. Like obviously, you gotta think of it like this: is it Chris Jones? No, it's not Chris Jones. Is it Dexter Lawrence? No, it's not Dexter Lawrence. But the guys that we signed are guys that are going to help us be able to stop the run. That we said at the beginning of the offseason, we needed to get bigger up the middle because we continue to get bullied off the ball. So these guys, I'm going to tell y'all right now, Linval Joseph, he's probably not going crazy in the stat sheet. You can look at his career. He never really goes crazy on the stat sheet. He had 2 Pro Bowl years that were amazing, and after that, you can see it's pretty much the same. You know what I'm saying? So we're not looking for Linval Joseph to come in here at 35 years old and get us 5-10 sacks and 20 pressures and 20 tackles. Like, that's not going to happen. We need him to come and help clock up holes so that our young, quick, fast, high IQ linebackers can do their jobs.
Exactly. So you literally took the words out of my mouth. Like, we had the foundational guys, the veteran guys who can pass off the knowledge to these young guys, and they're the reinforcements. They're the guys that's going to be behind these guys, taking up those blocks and stepping up to make those. Because we already see that, Star. In the past preseason game, we see Maris Leofow, our 3rd-round pick, knifing through that middle, making the tackle on the quarterback. And even when he's not knifing through the middle, you see him coming down, even just putting pressure on the quarterback alongside Marshawn Neal. So just seeing things like that, these guys getting more active in the game, these guys not being afraid to come downfield and put pressure on that quarterback, or even the running back. Even having, we saw Julius Wood stepping up, having a big tackle for loss in the game. So it's things like that, guys not being afraid, these young guys not being afraid to step up and make these hits. I think that's been a huge game changer for us.
Exactly. And so you have to look at it like that. And we just upgraded I don't care what, the Lions did, the 49ers or whatever, but we just upgraded our interior significantly. We have not had an interior this big in over a decade. A decade. It's been over a decade since we've had an interior this big. So again, we're not looking for these guys. And shout out to Stephen White. Glad to see you. And I see you looking. Shout out to you.
Right.
I think you're a new person. I don't think we've seen you in here. But
Keystone as well. Shout out to Keystone.
Shout out to Keystone, the draft king. The underground draft king. But we gotta realize, like, we got better. We did get better in the trenches this year. So I'm like, if we can't stop the run this year, I'm like, we ain't never gonna be able to stop the run, because with this much guys that we got, we're just asking you to occupy blocks, and then we can get some pass rush out of Osa. Think about how this is gonna help Osa. My guy David, what's up, David? But think how this is going to help Osa, how it's going to help Mozzie to be around these veteran guys, how it's going to help a guy like Albert Huggins, who really flashed last game. He didn't look good the first preseason game, but I did say we just threw him to the wolves. He didn't get no conditioning or nothing. He came to camp. 2 days later, he was playing. So, but you saw last week, he was pushing the pocket. He had a lot of pressures. I don't know. I don't have a PFF account, but I know on film he got a lot of pressures. So this is what it's going to be.
Let me see if I can bring it up. I got PFF. I'll see if I can bring it up real quick.
Yeah, see if you can bring it up. But yeah, these guys, like, they're going to help us. Like, this is where you think about, if you give all these guys, like all of these guys that we brought in rotational, the staples on the line is Mozzie, Osa, right? But now you surround them with these rotational guys. Now you can have Mozzie on the field with Osa on the field with Jordan Phillips, Jordan Phillips on the field with Mozzie, Jordan Phillips on the field with Liv Aljo. You see what I'm saying? So if you look at it like that, then you know what? You should get excited about it. You should give it some claps, because I think ultimately it's a good thing that we did. You know what I'm saying? Is it disappointing that we still haven't, that I woke up and we still haven't signed CeeDee Lamb? Yes, it is extremely disappointing. Is it disappointing that I woke up from my nap and I still didn't see the Dak Prescott extended? Yes, it is extremely disappointing. But us getting bigger up the middle, you know, is going to help us, and actually have guys who can stop the run. It is going to help us.
Yeah. It looks like Huggins did have one pressure. It looks like he had one hurry as well. I think it looked like one tackle on the quarterback as well. And we definitely saw him in the backfield. And
he was in the backfield. I feel like they mission the pressure unless they're calling one of it a hurry. Because I could have sworn he had about 2 to 3 pressures or hurries, just chasing the quarterback. But either way, he had a way better game than what he had, regardless of the PFF grades and stuff. I don't know exactly. You know, that's why PFF gets critiqued, because it's like some of these grades is like, what? But you pretty much rely on them for the stats. So if they say he had a hurry, he had a QB pressure, you know, that's good. That's what we need out of these guys, because you got to think, for every hurry and for every QB pressure, that's a chance to cause an errant throw for interception, a chance for a sack, a chance for a strip sack fumble. So, you know, we got to keep all of that, you know, in mind when evaluating these guys.
Yeah, I agree with you, sis. And like you mentioned earlier, just bringing in another guy who's a veteran. Like, we have an Osa who is going into his third, fourth year. But what I love is that they brought in someone who's even more experienced in that, because it is good to have, he spoke about Osa going into his fourth year, still being able to bring some kind of spark to his game and still being able to teach him. And he even mentioned that he still feels like that he can bring something out of himself for this team. So just the mindset of still being able to progress in this game and wanting to bring these lessons to these young guys in the room, because that's the reason why I thought of this subject earlier from our show earlier, because shout out to Clarence Hill, he asked that question in the Mike McCarthy press conference about, you basically have, outside of them just signing Linval Joseph, you basically have these 3 young guys at nose tackle, a Mozzie Smith, you have a Justin Rogers, a Denzel Daxton. So, you brought in, I think his point was he brought in Jordan Phillips, who's going to be a 3. So who do you truly have, as a 1 tech? But, at the same time, like you just mentioned, sis, having that rotation on the field, these guys can, and even Mozzie, shout out to Mozzie. I love this interview. He even said that you can learn a lot about these guys. It doesn't have to be orally. It don't have to be, you don't have to be talking to these guys. You can learn a lot from these guys just by looking at how they handle their business. He said, how they on the field, off the field, and he can take those nuggets about how these veterans are acting and what they add to their game and add it to his game. So I think even if you don't, quote unquote, even if they didn't sign Linval Joseph, but we did see it coming, but even if they didn't, he's still around these veterans in this room, just like when they brought in a Brandon Cooks for the wide receivers, just like when you already have vets here like a Zach Martin or a D-Law for the defensive edge room. So it's just great to have this type of mindset in the room, and he's already talking like, we're going to do this. We're going to do this. I want us to do this. I love that from him.
And I think, with them talking like that, obviously, Zimmer sat down and talked with these guys. And so these guys are clear on their roles and, what they'll be doing. And, exactly. Cowboys and Brown said, Mozzie, he's put on notice. These guys are not here to threaten Mozzie.
Exactly.
I do want to let people know that. So Mozzie's spot is not threatened. That is a first-round pick. And if they are going to give Mozzie every opportunity up until the last year of his contract.
Exactly.
To be the guy. So these guys are here to surround Mozzie, mentor Mozzie, and help take the pressure off of him. And I'm glad the Dallas Cowboys did that. Because you know what? In years past, they don't do that. They say, you're our draft pick. We're going with you. We're gonna force you to be the guy. When it's like, hey, he may need some more time. You can't just throw him out there to the wolves. It takes a defensive tackle 2 to 3 about 3 years to get inside his grown man body and get to where he needs to go. And you got to realize Mozzie is behind because of all the crazy stuff that went on last year with him losing that weight and being in a scheme that wasn't the best for him and all that type of stuff. So I am, happy with front office for going in and not relying on rookies, not relying on Mozzie. Get somebody to come in here. Imagine what Linval Joseph and Jordan Phillips is going to be able to do, the knowledge they're going to be able to impart into Mozzie, Osa, Justin Rogers, Denzel Jackson. They're going to be able to help these guys out a lot. Exactly, Stephen White. We have a rotation. So, they're going to be able to help these guys out quite a bit and mentor them. Remember when we brought in old-ass Jason Peters? He helped our offensive line a lot, and he helped he helped our running backs and our offensive line and our running backs just from a mentorship. Think about Brandon Cooks, what he's done for the wide receiver room. So sometimes it's not about bringing in these guys it's just gonna make all these plays, but it's also the leadership to help your young guys.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with you, sis. I mean, even I forget who name dropped Jason Peters just this past offseason as someone who was I don't know if it was Tyler Guyton or Tyler Smith. Someone mentioned him as far as someone being a mentor to him in his O-line room. So even just bringing in guys like that to be able to be an influence to these young guys is always important. Across the bar, not just specific rooms like the wide receiver room when we needed those. That kind of help for these guys, but it's just good for it to be spread across all these rooms.
Exactly, and shout out to the lunatic, bro. I was like, I haven't seen the lunatic in forever. Shout out to he comes back when it's time for the season. So thank you so much. The lunatic, he said the Joneses are feeling the heat. Yep, they are. So thank you so much, the lunatic, for coming in and rocking with us. I'm glad to see you. We haven't seen you in a hot minute. And shout out to my guy Rico. That's my guy Rico Jones. I really appreciate you. He said, how is Linval going to make Osa better? He's going to make Osa better because now you have a guy in the middle that can take up those double teams. Now Osa just has to beat guys consistently one-on-one. We know he can do that. Right. The issue is like sometimes you're having guys being able to double team Osa because it's like, who else did you have in there? You know what I'm saying? Exactly. You had Jonathan Hankins, but Jonathan Hankins helped out in the run, but he wasn't so much helping out in the pass rush. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, that's how these guys are going to help. A bigger body, just having bigger bodies in there, it just clogs up a lot of space. You know what I'm saying? So that's how it's going to help. It's going to take pressure off of one because you can't double team both of them. You can only double team one,
Exactly that, and Cowboys, bro. I understand. It may appear that, and then many facts, Mozzie may not be ready. I mean, it's only his second year, right? And you can't expect the players to grow if they don't have all the tools they need. And sometimes you need a veteran to be around. Like, I mean, we've gone over it with the linebackers, we've gone over it with the wide receivers. Sometimes you can't get everything you need out of the coach, even if they just brought in Coach Skinny, right? That's still that probably not even being enough to teach Mozzie, right? Because you need more than that. Even I was just listening to a show earlier where they said that it even seems like Skanina is so much on Mozzie that some of the guys, other guys maybe even be thinking that, hey, where's my turn? Like, but you don't want that from a coach. You don't want a coach to be spending all his time with one player. So what about Jackson? You know what I'm saying? What about Rogers? We drafted him, but you can't put him aside because you're honed in on Mozzie. You got to teach all these guys. So sometimes you're doing the best. So when practice is over, like you see Mozzie running with Osa and Micah, that's the time he puts in. That's his time that he puts in with the other vets on the team, because the coaches they may not even be gone for the day, but they got other stuff to do. They got game planning, they got coaches meetings, they got time with their family. Everyone has things going on to where they can't always be with the coach 24/7. Even with Nealon and Ellis, they can build that relationship, But Nealon is, and even Ellis spoke to about having D-Law speaking up in practice, like, "Hey man, not saying he needs that help, quote unquote, but sometimes you need
No,
that."
they need help. They all need help. Especially
Yeah, yeah,
these
exactly.
rookies, these second year players, they all need help and guidance. Because I can tell you one thing, Jalen Tolbert would not be nothing if Brandon Cooks wasn't here. I can tell you that one. I can tell you that.
Exactly. And he was
You know
on
what I'm
his hip. He was on his hip when he first got
Exactly.
here.
These young guys, they need leadership. They need mentorship.
And Star, they're craving it, and that's not even no pun intended. But and when you seen when we got T.Y. Hilton, right? When we saw the picture of CD and T.Y. at the end of the game, CD was lit up. He
Right.
was lit up when
Right.
T.Y. Hilton came in and helped them because it improves their game. These rookies, these young guys, even second, third year guys are looking for guys to learn from. That's what these guys are thriving off, what they learn from not just the coaches, but the players. They're looking for looking guys.
Right. It's like if we didn't have Eric Kendricks, you think Damone Clark would be looking as good?
Please.
You think Maris or Overshown? No, they need guidance. They need guidance. Right. You can have all the talent in the world, but you need good coaches, but you also need on the field mentorship. You need guys on the field that are veterans, that have done this before, that know what they're doing. Because if you don't, then you're going to see the results of that in those high pressure games. You know, those big games in the season, the playoffs. You're going to see you're going to see them likely crumble because they don't know what they're doing. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. And shout out to Swain coming through in the bill. My favorite came through earlier. I told y'all spin back game came back through. Appreciate y'all for real.
Yeah.
And just like Star was saying, and even in game time situations, like Mozzie don't have time to be not bothering, but talking to Coach Scanina during the game, like, hey, what about this, what about that? That's also another time where the players can get together on the sideline, or where they're supposed to be getting together, because I don't like when the camera pans to the sideline, and if the guys are behind and they're just sitting around looking sad. Hopefully that'll change.
Exactly.
Zimmer on the sideline now, so I don't think we'll see any kind of moping around and like that. That's just my take right now. But I just think even on the sideline during game time situations, even when you're on the field, hey, that's when they're moving guys around. That's their time to connect with the player coaches on the field, because they don't have time to be around the coaches all the time, y'all. So that's
exactly.
Bringing these other bodies is not an indictment on Mozzie, and even when they bring in guys from UFL, it's not necessarily an indictment on Marshawn Nealon, right? It just, you need guys who have
exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
you need a rotation. You need a rotation. Exactly. You gotta have a rotation, because, like I said, and Cowboys, bro, we're not ganging up on you. You're just expressing your opinion, and we're just we're talking through it. You know what I'm saying? We don't think that you're hating on Maz or anything like that. I think you just. He said, Mozzie stock for me just went up from the locker room tally. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And shout out to Boss Cowboy, because he says this. He's like, listen, the player on its own may not be great, but when you at the moment, but then you put him in a room with guys who have played at a high level,
right, who
know what they're doing, then it's like, this player is going to play better because they're able to get coached up. I think, the playmaker spoke about this. He said, when he first came in, there was an older wide receiver guy. I can't remember his name, but he was a veteran. But he was pretty much washed at that point. He just wasn't what he was. But he was like, hey, that dude taught me everything I know. Everything I know about being a wide receiver. Like, y'all saw me do it and think like, dang, the playmaker. But he's like, this guy that y'all wouldn't care about, he was an old vet. He taught me everything I know, my confidence and everything. So it don't matter. Like, sometimes you bring guys in here for mentorship. You know what I'm saying? And they can help you, because I'm sure that guy helped him. I can't remember his name, but they're gonna help you, help the team. But you're gonna be able to help them more, obviously, if you have younger guys that emerge compared to older veterans.
Exactly that. Just like Jay Money said, Osa gets worn down. That's what we see later and down the stretch with Micah Parsons as well, right? So that's why we also bring in a guy like Carl Lawson, someone who can spell Micah. I'm saying that's kind of this not switching sides, but it's kind of what I think personally about the tight end room. Like, I just really want them to get, and I know they're kind of working John Stevens Jr. up to kind of take on that. Hopefully, I mean, we've seen Schoolmakers improving little by little, but hopefully, I just want them
Kmart. Thank you, the lunatic Kmart. That's his name, Kelvin Martin.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, okay. Appreciate that.
Go ahead, Miguel.
I understand that. I just really hope that they're able to get somebody to spell Jake Ferguson. That way, he doesn't have to take as many reps. He doesn't get because he was talking about that he took a lot of hits, these last couple seasons, and being a big tight end, catching those passes, down the seam across the middle. Like he takes a lot of hits as well, and there's like a lot of tight ends in the league. But so it would just be good to have another big body, another big tall, tight end, another target that can kind of give Jake Ferguson that rest as well.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I think, so overall, with these signs, even Carl Lawson, we haven't gotten to see what he can do, but he has missed a lot of seasons. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And he said, players always say, I feel good, I'm in best shape. So we're going to have to see it. But we do know that Carl Lawson is a very productive player when healthy. This is a guy, he can get you 5 to 8 sacks easily. Even on a not super healthy year. So if he has a really healthy year, this guy could end up pushing it. And y'all know players like to come here and turn up because they're in Dallas. That's one thing I will say. Players from the outside, they love to come to Dallas because they know I can turn up here and I'm going to get a huge contract. Because they know I might not get a huge contract here, but if I turn up, y'all remember Robert Quinn? He was a guy that was washed. He came to Dallas. He had 18 sacks. You know what I'm saying? So
right.
sometimes.
And Lawson mentioned that in his interview. He said, to come play for an organization just like this. And he mentioned it twice in his interview, Star. So I think you're on the right track right there.
That's what I'm saying. Like a lot. So it's like, it's not great. It's not. So you can, you look at, prior stats, whatever, you're like, he don't see. But it's like, no, people can come up here. People were saying Randall Cobb was washed. He came here and almost put up 1,000 yards, so many touchdowns. So it's like people can choose to come to Dallas to kind of like revive their career because we are prime time. We are a winning organization. You know what I'm saying? Carl Lawson was like, I was with the Jets. We sucked. And most of the time we played, basically he's like, we sucked and we kept having to play from behind. So I never really got to show my true talents. Like I never got to because we was always playing from behind. You know what I'm saying? So now they get to come to a place where it's like, hey, now I get to play on a winning championship team. So it boosts them to be like, turn up. You know what I'm saying? Like this is your time to turn up and get seen. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Yeah, Cowboys abroad says, what areas are y'all still concerned about? Any positions? any positions? As far as concerned, I kind of start off. I said, I don't know. For me, for right now, concern may be a little strong, but I'll still say, of course, the running backs. I'll go ahead and say before first and say Malik Davis. I don't want to say I'm disappointed, but I'm like, because he had the opportunity. The first preseason game, he got heavy opportunity to show what he could do. And granted, the O-line was shaky. Trey Lance was shaky with some of the play calling, and the play calling was shaky. And I'll say that as well. But I know everything kind of goes together, but. He had heavy opportunity, and I think it was 18 yards off of 8 carries, something like that. Mm-hmm. That's to me that was just wild. So and he did run a little bit better in this past preseason game. So I don't know how much burn they'll give him in this next game. Just seeing that they have a lot of running backs that they still need to see. But I'm sure hopefully we'll still see him a little bit because I still want to see if he can still produce something. And maybe I don't know if they'll keep him around for practice squad again this year because I know it's been the past couple of years. But so just overall running backs, I'm still kind of shaky on that. But I think if they come up, I think they'll have a good rotation. For Zeke, they have Rico. Shout out to him for being able to earn his spot to be able to sit. I still want him to be. I think I tweeted earlier, running back 1 incoming possibly. And I saw his tweet earlier about I think he said turning plastic to silver or something like that. I forget the tweet he had tweeted earlier, but. Say it again.
Yeah, he said some. I know what you're talking about with Rico.
He tweeted out earlier.
I can't remember. He said something, turn plastic and something. But I'm actually not concerned about the running backs. I'm like, ready. I'm not concerned. I'm like, I'm ready to go into the season with these running backs because I believe in these running backs. I think everybody, let's go get Dalvin Cook. Get Dalvin Cook for what?
Yeah.
Like for what? What is Dalvin Cook? I'm not saying he's not going to help us, but I'm like, do we need him? I don't know. I want to go into this year with Zeke, with Rico, with Deuce.
Yeah.
And if it's not going to work, then call Dalvin Cook and maybe he can help you somehow, some way, somehow. Yeah. And I'm not trying to say Dalvin Cook is washed. I'm just saying like we already have our sledgehammer. You have another sledgehammer in Royce Freeman. Dalvin Cook is a scat back. Dalvin Cook is more so he would take on like a Deuce role. Yeah. And I'm like, Y'all know me. I'm taking Deuce. I'm taking
yeah,
Deuce.
we already Deuce for that. Yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm like, I'm taking Deuce. So that's my opinion. So I don't think they may go and get another running back, and if they do, okay, great. But and to me, honestly, like the guy that you should be thinking about replacing would be Rico. I know people don't want to realize that, but I'm like, Rico is the hurt guy. You know, he's the guy that if there's going to be guys missing time, it's likely going to be Rico. It's not going to be Zeke. Zeke plays hurt. Deuce never been hurt besides recently when he had that hamstring injury. So that's kind of, where I'm at right now with it. If it turns out we can't run the ball and we need more, then it's like go out and get more. But I feel like you bring Dalvin Cook in right now, that's automatically pushing Rico or Deuce off the roster, and I don't want that. And they're not going to get rid of Rico. So that means they're going to try to push my guy Deuce off the roster, and hell no. So that's where I'm at. But I feel everybody who says we need more. I feel you, but
I feel I can see that being more of a move that they would make towards like the middle of the season if
trade deadline.
I can see that not being an urgent because like as far as me, I need to see more from the guys in the room. I think our running backs are in the room right now. Like I don't see the Cowboys going to make a move to get a running back. Like you said, I think that would be more so saved for like the middle of the season if it's absolutely necessary. Because we have 6 or 7 guys. I'm saying, someone mentioned in the chat Hunter Lipke. You know what I'm saying? Coming through with some of the staff as well. So I think our running back is definitely on the roster, or our running backs, I should say, are definitely on the roster at this present moment. And you guys are bringing up John Stevens Jr. I agree. I still think I don't want to use the words he needs to show it, but I know he's coming back on the pitch count, so I just think that to kind of ease him back in slowly. I'm glad that that's what I will mention. I'm glad that Schoonmaker is kind of improving and coming along. I definitely want to see like more and kind of and that's something I want to discuss with you, Star. Just real quickly. It don't have to be a long topic, but I saw Mike McCarthy's press conference early this week. It wasn't today, but I think a couple of days ago, and I forget the reporter who asked the question because I think it might have been maybe David Moore, and he asked twice. Twice he said, okay, so with Ferguson and Schoonmaker being at the top of the room, everybody else got to prove it. Mike McCarthy was like, oh, no, I want everyone to step up, this, that, and the third, blah, blah, blah. And then he asked again, okay, so with Ferguson and Schoonmaker, da, 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 da. And like Mike McCarthy was like, no, those guys, Schoonmaker needs to, all those guys.
I remember him saying that. Yeah, he did say that. So right? I think honestly with Schoon, I still believe in Schoon. I just think Schoon has to build his confidence. I think when he plays confident, like he played this last game, he played very well. Yeah. But I think it's hard on Schoon because everybody effing hates him. Like he knows nobody wanted him. He knows that. So I think a lot of time he just it's like Schoon. But the only way people will change their mindset is if you perform. You got to go out there and perform. You got to play with confidence. Because if you don't, then other guys are going to take your spot. And shout out to Miss Sadiqa in the chat. Appreciate you. But you have to he has to play with confidence. And even Coach Lunda Wells, he said that. He said with Schoon, it's just his confidence. It's like if you play confident, like with Trey, they called it a drop, but I'm like, I don't really think that was a drop. Like Trey threw it to the ground and Schoon went down there and tried to get it. You know what I'm saying? It just happened to hit the ground before he could get down there. But I think, and Mike McCarthy just got to do things to give him easy looks and to build his confidence up because right now he kind of plays like a shell of himself. And that's a good question. The one guy that's like Brevin Spanford, right? He hasn't really been doing much, and I'm disappointed in that because I was like, I thought we brought him here to turn out the room, but he hasn't really done much. Honestly, we haven't really targeted or utilized our tight ends much at all. They're all getting like 2 to 3 targets a game. How you gonna evaluate a guy when they only get 2 to 3 targets a game? So
and even John Stevens, they'll target him for maybe like 2-3 plays in a row, and then that's it. Right, that's maybe one target on the Brevin Spanford, and even Schoon, they'll have him active maybe the first quarter, a couple plays here. He had the conversion, I think, on second and 11, third and 11, and even after that, we didn't really see him. I'm like,
they're not really playing that, and that's weird. I thought they would play the tight ends more, but they're not really playing them. Like
I mentioned that earlier.
They're all getting about 2 to 3 targets a game, and I don't know if Trey just doesn't feel real comfortable. Like I think maybe Trey feels more. He goes to Flournoy a lot and Bracy McMath, so maybe those are his guys, you know. And he just don't. He don't have that chemistry with these tight ends. Now, a plus that they did say about John Stevens Jr. is that Dak was targeting him a lot today. So John Stevens is going to be on this roster.
Yeah.
He will be on this roster. I think I don't know how they're going to do it because they also, remember, made Lipke into a tight end 2.
Yeah.
And I don't think you can. Oh, I mean, they're making Hunter Lipke play a dual role. Yeah. So I don't think that some people are saying they're only going to take 2 tight ends, but I think I can't see them putting what's the name on the practice squad, John Stevens Jr. because I think he would get picked up immediately. I think the same thing for Brevin Spann-Ford because he was like one of the most coveted undrafted free agents. So it's really going to be interesting to see how they make these decisions because they're keeping Ferg. That under no circumstances are they cutting Schoon, so he gonna be on the roster.
Exactly, facts. And honestly, that's really why I was kind of surprised to see Schoonmaker come along. So I guess quickly, would be the term because he had that injury he was dealing with during camp, but. So I thought maybe they would somehow sneak him on the IR from the beginning of the season. That would be able to have them, sign, John Stevens Jr., Brevin Spann-Ford, and maybe have him on IR and maybe try to even sneak Fant on the practice squad because he was on the practice squad last season.
Yeah, they're probably gonna try to sneak Fant on the practice squad. Yeah, they'll try to sneak Brevin on the practice squad. But I think the 3 tight end, I think y'all are right in the chat. Jay Money. I think we will roll with 3 and we'll roll with. Yeah. Jake, Schoon, and Stevens. Because I cannot see them in any world. They were devastated when Stevens went down last year. And I think they've been having him on a pitch count. They've probably been having him on a pitch count, which he probably hasn't been getting that many snaps. Yeah. But anytime he's targeted, he's catching the ball. So I cannot see them putting him on the practice squad. I can't see that. But we'll see how it's going to work. Where the hell is Fant? He's been playing. He plays fullback. He's been playing a lot of fullback.
He does very well blocking, and he plays special teams as well. I mean, I definitely see him blocking, more often than not, and definitely more often than they give him pass catching opportunity. That's kind of what I'm kind of because he had a good camp. He had actually a really decent camp. But it's just when you have that many, and that's what happens when you're stacked at so many positions at the wide receiver position, at the running back position. I mean, for goodness sake, 6-7 running backs. I mean. And granted, these signings happen at different times, at different parts of the offseason where we, I guess, needed these guys at those different, times. But it's just like even so, you still have to see all these guys operate. The ball can only touch so many hands. So when you got to see 8 wide receivers, you got to see 6 to 7 running backs.
You right. It's so hard. Yeah, you right. Sis. It's so hard to evaluate because it's so many guys. So it's so hard to get everybody the ball and a chance. Like even in the running back room, they give like Snoop Conner like 2 carries. I'm like, damn, some of these guys, they're just not even getting chances because we just don't have enough. And with Trey, we have to simplify the game plan for Trey. He cannot have too many reads and. We tried that week. The first preseason game 1 was a disaster. Yeah. So we really had to keep it very simple for him. So that's another reason why it's like a lot of these guys aren't really getting right. And then they said this it's all check downs. And they said this week Cooper Rush is not going to get no snaps. So I don't think.
But they said so. Trey's playing the whole game. They said okay.
Trey's going to play the whole game. So at this point, I guess these coaches just evaluating from the practice and the scrimmage because a lot of these guys you really haven't even gotten to really evaluate all that much. So
I mean, that's what McCarthy said that, and even because some of the media asked questions about when are you making the cuts and this, that, and third. And he said, we're not even there yet. I'm still worried about these 2 practices we have coming up. So I think, and he spoke to that. He's saying the opportunities for the first team to play like another first team, like when they had the joint practices with the Rams, and he said it's a good opportunity for when their young players was able to play the first team as far as the Raiders. So he really put a lot of emphasis on these young guys playing against possibly some of these starters. And I don't know if the Chargers are going to play their starter. I haven't been really watching their preseason games, but he put a lot of emphasis on these young guys having the opportunity to start the game and just really get the kind of get a feel for the game. So I think of course, with us not playing our starters, I think he does put a lot of stock in these in how the starters play. Ones against the ones, twos against the twos, and so on and so forth. So
yeah, and it looks like roster cut downs is on the 27th, and that's next Tuesday. So yeah, these guys, they're gonna trim down. We will know very early in the week next week who makes it 53 and who doesn't.
Yeah, and do you think they'll do it? I mean, I don't know if there'll be any residual guys coming off before then. Like during the weekend or like maybe that Monday, like how they've been cutting guys off. IR, when they waive Tony or when they waive Sheldrick Redwine, like we can see that as early as the weekend. So. It's right around the corner, y'all. I mean, we talk about news. I mean, for some of these guys, like McCarthy mentioned, like this Saturday, this weekend, even these next couple of practices, right? I mean, because you don't know what opportunity you're going to get in the game. These next couple few days are huge for some of these young guys who are looking for opportunity, and that's one thing that we can actually, that in my opinion, that we can praise about the Cowboys because they give these not just the young guys, not just always about the young guys, but it's about the first year guys, second year guys, the guys from UFL, guys looking for a second chance, re-entering the NFL, guys looking to put things on film, on tape, so that way,
right?
For roster cuts, I mean, with it being right around the corner,
they can maybe get picked up by another team, so it's a big game, and Nisi, I agree, they definitely simplify. The whole game plan in preseason has been watered down, it's been boo-boo, you know what I'm saying? It's been right. Because we're not showing anything in preseason. We're not showing any real, plays and concepts and stuff like that in preseason. So all of it's been watered down. What I was saying was, if you could share the load, then you could split up the guys you need to evaluate between Trey and Cooper Rush. But because Trey is so inexperienced, we basically have to give him all the snaps. And I'm saying for Trey's game plan, we can't have him needing to target all of these guys. He can only target so many people. That's what I meant. I'm not trying to say, that we don't simplify stuff for Cooper Rush too, because of course we do. He's a backup quarterback.
Yeah. Shout out to Chris 214 in the building as well. Kind of snuck in here a little bit. What's up, everybody coming in?
What's up, Chris? Glad to see you.
Yeah, appreciate everybody coming through. Yeah, so these next couple of days are really, and shout out to Nisi too. I didn't see you sticking here, sis.
Nisi, Marcus McFarland, Double R. Thank you guys for rocking with us, Wayne. Thank everybody for rocking with us in the chat. We really appreciate it.
Yeah.
I think pretty much the last couple things that we can talk about. One is I wanted to talk because I had a thought about Jerry. Good old Jerry Jones, you know what I'm saying? And I think I had put out the other day, I was like, Cowboys fans, stop letting Jerry Jones gaslight y'all and rage bait y'all, because that's what he's doing. Now, granted, I did go back and actually listen to Jerry, and some of those quotes, first of all, one of them quotes, I'm like, about Dak's contract, I'm like, y'all took that out of context, because it sounded to me, I got to go back and listen, but I was like, I don't think Jerry was even talking about Dak. He was talking about CeeDee Lamb. But anyway, with Jerry, this is my theory with Jerry. This just came to me last night. I was like, because like Jerry, it seemed like Jerry and Steven have been playing like good cop, bad cop. But somebody said it seems like Jerry's trying to play the role like, I don't give a F. I don't need CeeDee Lamb, Dak better play on a Warrior deal. But then you have on the other side with Stephen Jones. Stephen Jones seems a lot more desperate and almost like, shut the F up, Dad. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And we know. And we know
your mess up, like,
right,
who let you, I mean, I ain't gonna say that. I ain't gonna say who let you out, but like, bro, like,
everything Jerry, right? Everything Jerry say something, and then Stephen come back and he's like, like, shut up, like, shut up, Dad. And we know Stephen and Jerry can go at it, because y'all remember he the one who hemmed up Jerry on the wall when he found out we signed Prime. So I think I think that there's a feud, because Jerry, of course, it's all about the big picture, aka money. Yeah. And that's one reason why Jerry is continuing to. he flip-flops his stance. One day, oh, Dak's the best leader, and that's why we're offering a contract. We love him. And the next day, it's like, Dak needs to worry about this year or this year only. One time, oh, we love CeeDee Lamb. That's why we offered him the contract that we offered. Then the other time, are you worried about CeeDee Lamb not being here? Nope, not at all. Well, why, Jerry? Why don't you care? Who cares? I don't know why I said that, but nope, I'm not worried. So it's like he keeps doing stuff. Right? It's a show. It's for the headlines. But another thing that I think Jerry does, and why he does this, I'm putting this out to the content world. I think this is Jerry's way of punishing or getting his revenge. This is why I put on the thumbnail. I said Jerry's revenge,
right?
Because I'm like, the last player that Jerry took to the brink right before the season was Ezekiel Elliott. He didn't sign Ezekiel Elliott till right before the 2019 season. I said, why did he make Zeke? Why did they wait so long? Because y'all know Zeke had ended up taking like a longer deal. I think Zeke took like a 5 or 6 year deal. Now, granted, he was the highest paid running back and got all that guaranteed money, but he still took a long deal. And I'm like, why did Jerry make him wait so long? And I'm like, what happened in playoffs in 2018? What happened with Zeke? Y'all remember how many yards Zeke had that game? Like 60 yards. The Rams shut him down completely. And that's one of the reasons why we lost, because we could not play our offense because we couldn't stick to the run. We couldn't run the ball effectively because Zeke got completely shut down by that Rams defense, which further we were getting 3 and outs and stuff like that. And the Rams on the other side, they were able to run the ball. So we weren't able to run the ball, but the Rams were able to run the ball. That's why they ended up. So I'm like, I feel like Jerry be doing this shit. And it's like, okay, look at these contracts with Dak and CD. Everybody's like, it makes no sense because usually we sign our players the first week of free agency. That's our usual thing. First week is free agency. We don't sign big names because we sign our own big names, right? Our own Pro Bowlers, our all pros. That's the Cowboys way.
Yeah.
But then I said, well, look at this. Why would Jerry wait so long for the money? But also, this is because everybody's like, where's Jerry's response to Green Bay? This is his response. His response is this. He's making CD pay because he said, CD, you want me to pay you when you drop them balls? When you was pouting the whole first half of the game?
Right.
So this is Jerry's like sneak way of like, I'm gonna make you wait. I'm gonna make you wait for it. I don't think Jerry's crazy enough to not actually sign these guys. He's gonna sign them. But this is what I'm calling. This is Jerry's way of getting his revenge. With Dak, you think I'm gonna let you off the hook when you threw them 2 picks? In that pick 6? No, I'm gonna make you spend the whole offseason where everybody thinks that your job is up for grabs. And on top of that, I'm gonna continue to say these great things about Trey Lance.
And put him on the damn roster.
And he will be making the 53. So this is what I think. Jerry is, we know he's petty. He fired Jimmy over petty BS. You know what I'm saying? Like, Jerry is petty. Steven is not like that. Steven is more, I'm a businessman. I'm very about the contract. I'm very about the numbers. I'm very anal about this stuff. Yeah. But Jerry don't give a damn. He got rid of Amari Cooper because he said, you're not for the team. You didn't get the vaccine like I told you to. You're out of here.
Right.
So it would make sense to me, like, why? Because everybody's like, it's just not like the Cowboys to wait this long. Like, why are you waiting so long? And I think it's Jerry. I think it's Jerry's revenge.
It could very well be personal because I'm just like, at this point, you're just punishing CD because you know how badly he wants to be here with this guy.
You're punishing him.
You've been saying it for weeks. You've been saying it for weeks that you can see it on his face when he uploads the videos. You can see something is just not the same. And even I said the other day when the game was on, like, 'cause first, even though I follow CD on Instagram, I don't, see him all the time. So seeing them in a commercial, I'm like, yo, there's CD. It's almost like almost like seeing a stranger, a friend you haven't seen in so long. It's like, yo, there's CD on the TV. It's so weird. And I'm like, it's the same thing for me. At least personally, it was like that with Diggs. We missed Diggs since early on in the season last year. So it's so refreshing to see him back out there with the team with this guy. So you have Diggs back out there coming up from injury, JSJ, you know what I'm saying, Overshown. You see how turned up Overshown was, girl. So you know that when you miss being off the field, you miss being with your guys.
Right.
You just have that passion in you. So you can just imagine how CD is feeling.
How he's feeling. Because Jerry made this man miss the whole training camp. You know what I'm saying?
Literally
we was out in Oxnard for 4 weeks. This man made him miss the whole entire training camp.
And we were out there longer this year and still missed the entire Oxnard.
Right. Missed the whole Oxnard training camp. And now, like, at this point, it's more, I feel like with Jerry, this is his way of getting, like with Mike McCarthy, the way he gets his revenge, he may very well extend Mike McCarthy. I think he is, but he wants Mike McCarthy to live under the heat this whole season because he wants Mike McCarthy to know this is Jerry getting his lick back.
Yeah.
He like, cause y'all remember when we was losing that game, Jerry was turning around like, what the is going on?
Right.
Like Jerry was pissed after. If y'all don't think Jerry was pissed after that game, I think he was pissed. Now people think he's so pissed that he's not going to sign Dak. He's not going to sign CeeDee Lamb. He's trying to rebuild. I don't think that. I don't think he's that pissed.
But he ain't crazy. Jerry ain't crazy now.
That's what it is. Jerry's exactly. Jerry's pissed, but he's not crazy.
Yeah.
And that's
such a valid point because, like you said, like how else, when somebody make you mad and you feel you can't get your lick back, you think of small, petty, little shit to get back at somebody.
Exactly. That's little stuff. Exactly.
That's really a very much so valid point, sis. Because it's like, how else would you? There's no other explanation. Like you said, like everyone said from content creators, from the media to our own media. To the 3 and 4 letter networks, everyone knows. Everyone says everyone knows he's gonna get paid. It's a matter of time, y'all. It's a matter of time. And now we've kind of conditioned ourselves. Well, we know he's gonna get paid, so it's okay. We know it's gonna get done. It's okay. But it's like, no, we gotta. And I'm glad you saying that stuff because no, it's not okay. It's not okay for you to hold your number one wide receiver out away from his team, out from practices, out from training camp. These guys are they spend the whole offseason to get back with their guys. They have the point of getting away from this, but the point is so that they can get back, so that they can play, so they can get ready for the season. And now, like you said, your owner for your owner to come through and, like you said, just kind of really pull the carpet from underneath you. Like, that's the only way he can get back at you.
Yeah, and Keith said throw away the defense instead of he did. Jerry got rid of that defense, brought in a new coordinator. Added the new guys. He's adding more guys. Like Jerry did get rid of that defense. He got smooth, rid of them, and he's making our best player. He says, Micah,
right.
Wait till next year, like everybody else. I know you're a 3-time All-Pro, but
right.
Wait till next year. This is Jerry just being as petty as possible because that's who he is. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that pissed him off. And everybody's like, so we just gonna run it back? No. This is Jerry's way of I'm gonna get revenge on you in the media because that's what he does.
That's a good point you brought because like you said, they doing all this signing on the defensive side of the ball, and I think you said off camera, Star, but like you said, it doesn't affect how if they can sign Dak or CD. So. You do all this moving over here, but what's going on?
Exactly. Then you signing all these guys, but you're not signing Dak. You're not signing CD. It's on purpose. And remember, Jerry said during the draft, he said, if Dak and CD aren't signed yet, it's because I'm not ready to go. So this is Jerry. This is what Jerry wants. He wants a media game, but he also wants to get his revenge. And you said Quinn would still be here. You know, Quinn might have been here, but I think honestly they put that statement out to save face. They knew Quinn wasn't coming back.
Yeah.
They knew Quinn wasn't coming back, but they didn't. They wanted to put it out there. If he wants to come back, he can. Girl, Dan Quinn was so done with the Dallas Cowboys.
Right. And before the playoff game, before that, that's crazy you just said that. My dad just said that because, you know, y'all know Washington just played Miami in the preseason. My pop said, I think he watched the end of the game. He said Dan Quinn was dapping up McDaniel after the game, you know, picking him up, dapping him up. Oh, what's up? Da, da, da. And I'm like, didn't we lose to them last season on on the last play of the game? The defense gave up a huge play.
Danny Quinn was ready to get out of here. It is like, look what they did, because it's like he was ready to get out of here. It was not a good, you know, and they're gonna save face and say it was all great.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, yeah, they weren't gonna fire him, but they weren't gonna fire him because they knew he was gonna leave.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with Kellen Moore. They don't like to say they don't like to fire people. Right. It has to be exactly. It has to be on their terms.
Right.
So it's like, oh, we didn't fire. You know, we didn't. They weren't gonna say like we're gonna fire Dan Quinn. Just like with Mike McCarthy, they're not gonna fire Mike McCarthy. His contract just expired.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying?
Right. Exactly.
We didn't fire Kellen Moore. His contract expired, and he decided to go to the Chargers.
Right.
That's how they are. Right. He's undervalued. Exactly. That's how they are. They don't flat out fire people ever.
Right.
Ever. They don't fire people. Either coaches choose to leave, or they let their contracts expire.
Right. Just like the players. They don't do bidding war, so they go get paid by somebody else.
Exactly. That's how the front office is. That's how they operate.
Yeah. Yeah. Look, y'all. We really cooked up a show. Shout out to the chat. Everybody rocking with us in the chat this Wednesday evening. Shout out to my co-host Star, always bringing the fire. I just love bouncing off, ideas off you. I think we had a very rocking show this evening. Everybody, spin back gang. Shout out to Landlord. Shout out to Henny. Shout out to West Coast. Who I heard that from. I love everybody that came back through this evening for our show, and everyone just showing support. Like Star said, we're on the way to try to grow our channel, trying to grow our voices. Please hit the like, hit the share, hit the subscribe, hit our cash apps, please. We love putting this time in for you guys, and we know it's not easy for any content creator out there. So please make sure you guys donate. Hit like, share, subscribe. Since you got any final words before we got in here? Shout out to Law Nation, Cowboy for the final word.
Yeah. What I would have to say, my final word is like, this is the grand finale. Grand finale on Saturday. What's up, Sports Junkie? Glad to see you.
Hey, Sports Junkie. Glad to see you back, fam. I know you've been off for a little bit, but very happy to see you back.
Shout out to Sports Junkie. He's a content creator. Y'all go subscribe to his channel. But this is the grand finale. This is when we decide, who's gonna be on this roster and who's not. You know what I'm saying? It's coming up. Things that players that really gotta play well in this game.
Yeah.
Eric Scott. You're on the ball, dog.
Yeah. There's some heat on your back. Fam. Like, for real. Like, they traded up to get you. And you had two camps. You had pretty much two off seasons to get it together, y'all. And you got Carson about to leave. You got Keeman Hall getting pick sixes, y'all.
Right. Like Eric Scott, you need to play better. Willie Harvey Jr. You played well, but you've also not played well. You know what I'm saying? And we have a stack-loaded linebacker room. Yeah. So if you want to make this roster, if you want to make your return back to the NFL, you need to play better. You can't be missing tackles because this is 2 games in a row. I've seen you. The play was set up for you, and you didn't make the tackle.
Facts.
2 times. So you need to play better. Someone else, Brevin Span. Like, you gotta play better, dog, because I don't know how many tight ends we're gonna carry. And right now it's a push between you and John Stevens Jr. because Schoon is not getting cut.
Right.
So a lot of
what's up? How you doing, Trey?
What's up, Trey? But these guys, and let me see who else.
My heartbreaker for Hoko. You need more than
Hoko.
You need more than flash, bro. You need plays this game. You need absolute plays this game.
Hoko, you gotta play better, big dog, because you're on your way out. You haven't, you look kind of good to me in the first game. The second game wasn't great.
Yeah.
And I think,
in the frying pan. Sweet, I can't stand you.
He crazy. But I'm trying to think, who else, like, you need to play well? These wide receivers, Jalen Crawford. Those fumbles, big dog.
Yeah.
And you've been on the practice squad 2 years in a row. Yeah. So you better play better, dog, or you're out of here.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I agree with that one. Yeah. Crawford, yeah. Crawford, you have more opportunities, and you turned up at camp, bro. You got to show that you can perform in the life.
He's looking like a camp hero, is what he's looking like.
Right. That's what we need Sean Wright for, right?
Right. So, you need to you gotta play better, big dog, because it hasn't been good. Yeah. Somebody else. I'm trying to think. Anybody else that I'm like, you on the bubble? Let me see.
I'm trying to think. Safety room. Safety good.
Safeties. We're so deep. I don't have no problem with the safeties.
Right.
The linebackers. Yeah, I already went through that.
Special shout out to Awesome Richard. I know he didn't get much into the O-line today, but I love how he's improved his game. Will McClay recognize him as improved.
Yeah, he's definitely Billy Johnson too. I have not heard Billy Johnson. I haven't heard his name at all in these games.
Right. I seen him. I mean, they have him on special teams doing returns for whatever reason. I mean, I'm not mad at that. I mean, maybe he can kind of get in where he fit in, but I haven't seen him much on offense. And he had a great camp too. Him and Cropper. I was kind of happy to see Racing McMath kind of come back because he had a great camp, but he didn't really show much. But he had them catches now, so it's JC Cowboys never coming through. What's up, fam? What's up,
JC? Glad to see you. Somebody just gave to my cash app. Let me see. Oh, the Lunatic. Thank you, the Lunatic. Really appreciate you for donating to me.
Nice.
But yeah, this is a lot of guys. And Trey Lance.
Yes.
We already know you on the roster, big dog, because Jerry said it yesterday. He said you on the roster. We already knew you was on there, but couldn't play better, because if they make you QB2, like I think they're going to, I think Jerry is going to force you to be QB2. If Trey Lance is not QB2, I'm gonna be shocked. I'm saying that right now. I'm gonna be shocked.
Exactly.
So you need to also play better, because you need to have Cowboys fans have a little bit of confidence in you, because right now, even after your good game, people are not convinced. They're not. They're not convinced at all.
Because even that's preseason. I mean, he still hasn't reached the level of seeing a regular season game against these guys who are looking to start winning them games for the record to go towards the ultimate prize. So
you don't want to go down, Trey Lance. You want to continue to build. So you need to continue to have a good game. Let's try to. I'm sure they're gonna roll with the same game plan that they did last week. So you ain't gonna have that many reads or whatever.
Right.
But you want to play better, because you want Cowboys fans saying, "Okay, we're not totally out on you being quarterback too." We know we don't have no ultimate control over it, but at least you want the Cowboys fans to have a little bit of confidence in you and not like, damn, that was a real nepotism pick. He doesn't deserve it at all. We hold Cooper Rush. That's what you don't want. You know what I'm saying? So
that's ultimate facts, because Star, for real, because like you just said, like it's one thing to want to do it your way, it's one thing to do it the Cowboys way, but if you go spend a whole 4th round pick and the guy is not performing in preseason, and you still ultimately put him on the roster as quarterback 2.
It's effed up.
You have a proven quarterback 2 with Cooper Rush. Like you said, it shows clearly that you want to show that, we're not wrong. This guy, just like the Lunatic has mentioned, well, let's go and ball. They're still trying to prove that they're right about these guys. No matter what, okay, no, we're going to put them in. We're going to put them in that guard. We're going to put them in a tackle. We're going to risk these guys in the pocket, risk these running backs getting blown up. Because let's go and ball, because they can't hold. It's just, I don't like seeing that, because you guys.
Well, let's go. With Ball has been playing better at guard. He's terrible at tackle. He's not a tackle, but at guard, Ball has looked good. Well, Let's Go has looked bad, but I think just from we don't have depth at tackle. Those two are the Ball is definitely. I mean, but Let's Go and Ball, they making a team.
Yeah.
They're not getting cut. They're not getting cut. Just from the we don't have. You can't cut a place where it's like you don't have tackle depth. You don't. So even though Walesko is terrible, and we hope we never have to see him,
Right.
he's gonna make the roster.
Right, facts. We can definitely go on that. We just hope that we never have to see our depth because we know last season we had a first couple weeks. So hopefully our guys can remain healthy, can remain upright, and keep our QB upright. As Jonas said, see you guys later. Please catch us next week as we told you guys. We had some surprises for the show. Do not miss next week, you guys. We're just gonna go ahead and say everyone's in the chat. Shout out to Facebook.
Don't miss next week. Do not miss next week.
Twitter game. Please don't miss next week, you guys. That's all we're gonna tell you guys. I don't have anything else to say. If you got any final words, sis, we're gonna go ahead and head out of here. Thank you guys.
Y'all have a good night. We really appreciate you for rocking with us. Let me see if y'all can hear this. So love you guys very much, and y'all have a good night.
Right. All right. See you guys later.